Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed Wednesday Night Live last night. I finally figured the glitch out. We never had that problem before, but let me just say quickly that I'm always adding on things here, and I'm always trying different things for different reasons that you guys don't see behind the scene. The glitch was because I was using a solar battery, trying that out. And I actually plugged the audio doohickey, whatever you want to call, audio processor. And I plugged that audio processor. It has to be powered into the Jackery that I have, which is a solar battery. And then it dawned on me last night while I was messing with everything was even after the show was over, I'm still working, going through the chat and reading chats real quick. Somebody, Boomer, that's all I can remember, Boomer, said that he was being ignored on the chat. And there was nobody ignoring anybody. Dude, you have to understand, we have hundreds of people that come to these things to ask specific questions about retirement here in the villages. And we had a Medicare expert on. He's very popular on the show. He's been on before, and there's always these people. And I skip around, and we just do. We catch who we can catch. And when I'm looking at my chat over here, Sue looks at the chat, Melody looks at the chat now, but sometimes they're not looking at the chat because Melody is also a moderator. So, but no, you were not being ignored. Nobody's being ignored. Trust me on that. We don't ignore anybody. Matter of fact, I'd like to see another 1,000 people come to the show, but you have to understand, we can't get everybody. We can't, it's hard to catch every question that's different. Because sometimes people will ask the same question over and over and over again because they came to the show late. And they asked a question that we already answered. The guest already answered that question. So yes, we will ignore that question. We won't answer it twice. And I'll tell you why. Because you could go to the replay on that show. That show is replayed immediately after the show ends. And when it replays, you will see the answer to your question. And I've told this to a lot of my subscribers. That's how it works. And it's nothing that we're trying to do to be mean or anything like that. You just have to understand how it works here. And so if you go back to the replay, if you had a question about Medicare or whatever, which I did not see one, but if there was, watch the replay and you might see the answer to your question. Other than that, I can just say whenever we have him on again, get in there. Just jump in there, man, and start asking questions that you want answered. And I guarantee you. And the other secret to getting your question answered right away, and most of my normal people that come to my shows, they know this. It's not e-begging or anything, but it is a way of getting your question answered right away. Is give us like I don't even know what the cheapest super chat you can do, $2 or $5 or whatever it is. If you throw a super chat in there with a question, the super chats come up in a different color and has a moving little cartoon on it. You know what I'm talking about if you've been on YouTube long enough. And I see them, and when I see them, I go to them right away. So that's a good way of getting your questions answered real quick. But we didn't get any super chats or anything on this last WNL show, probably because of the timing of the show, and it just worked out that way. And I'm not holding grudge or anything. That with the holidays, Good Friday and Easter, people were probably traveling, to see family and stuff. And so like my Mark Berry's one of my biggest supporters I got. He wasn't even on the show, and he's always there. And he's just one. I'm not just picking on Mark, even though I like picking on Mark. Anyway, I figured out the glitch on the show. My fault, once again. So I hope you enjoyed the show. The update on a developer lawsuit, like I said, they're putting these out now every day. So I may have to start doing short clips of this every day. Big a pain in the butt as I know that's going to be. Just to keep you guys up to date and informed. I really don't know what else to do other than do it every day. Let me see if I can get to this update here. Here we go. Competition and loyalty take center stage at properties of the Villages trial. Ventura and Bobby Ann Claveria bought their home in 2008 in the Villages with Christopher Day of Property of the Villages acting as their sales representative. The couple, now in their mid-80s, recently sold their 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home on the historic side of the Villages for $177,000. Once again, they turned to Day to represent them. The only difference is that this time he was running his own real estate company, KD Premier Realty. The Claveria's home was one of many on a spreadsheet presented in Tampa federal court on Wednesday by Todd Burns of Property of the Villages. He was trying to show the judge, James Moody, who is presiding in the bench trial, the loss of commissions suffered by Properties of the Villages since Day and his partner, Jason Krantz, abruptly departed Properties of the Villages on December 16, 2019. Burns tried to make the case that the Claverias had long been tracked in the AS400 computer system operated by Properties of the Villages. He reasoned that the commission from that sale would have gone to Properties of the Villages. The amount of damages allegedly suffered by Properties of the Villages has yet to be spoken out loud so far in the trial, in which Day and Krantz and their associates are being sued by Properties of the Villages. Jennifer Parr, Vice President of Sales for Properties of the Villages, was the first witness called in the case Monday, and under cross-examination would not put a dollar amount on the damages suffered by Properties of the Villages due to the KD Premier's realty ventures into the marketplace. That would be very difficult to quantify, she said. In a trial brief, Properties of the Villages attorney John Lauro suggested the loss in commission suffered by his client totals $1.12 million. The spreadsheet presents in court had some eyebrow-raising entries. In addition to the sales of the Claveria's home, which appears to be motivated by a stronger loyalty to Day and a lost allegiance to Properties of the Villages, the attorney representing Day and Krantz pointed out that his client's own homes were counted on the spreadsheet as lost commissions. Do you honestly believe they would have wanted to sell their home through Properties of the Villages after leaving the company? That's what his attorney asked. Pollard also pushed Burns on the value of the more than $1 million, dollars, 1 million leads, a million leads in the AS400 database. Pollard suggests that many of the leads have no more than a passing interest in the Villages. He got Burns to admit that many of the names in the database are no longer viable. Many have passed away, or they are just looking and haven't decided. It was alleged in the second day of the trial that Day and Krantz took customer data from the AS400 before they left Property of the Villages. Their attorney has argued some of the information they are alleged to have taken was easy to find in the phone book. He testified that Properties of the Villages sold 4,500 homes last year, about even split between new homes and pre-owned homes. He also said 53% of the sales were driven by new customers and 47% were repeat customers. Longtime Properties of the Villages executive Mike Burning testified about the extensive training provided to sales representatives. He said the sales representatives' independent contractor agreements and non-compete clauses are critical to the company's viability. He said if representatives could receive the training and then walk out the door and sell against the Properties of the Villages, it would be devastating. If that became an ongoing process, I don't know how we would survive. Burning claimed that Next Home, the San Francisco company behind KD Premier Realty, has a behemoth technology platform that drove $6 billion in national sales in 2019. Burning said Next Home has substantially more resources than Property of the Villages. He was asked if KD Premier Realty is competing fairly. They are taking our customers, Bernie said, and that's the end of that. So in a way, he's right about that these guys could go to the Villages, they could learn the system, they could learn a lot, be trained a lot, things that they may or may not have known, and then they just a light bulb went off in their head and said, we're going to start our own company and we're going to pocket all this money and we're not going to do any business with the Villages company at all. The question here is in court is, did they have a non-compete clause? And if they did, is it enforceable? That's the way I see it. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, I'm going to get this posted. I may have to edit it now with all this interruptions. This is like the show. It turns into a train wreck. It just never ends. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the WNL show. I hope I explained how that works with the chats. Nobody's being ignored. The show is always live. The day after the show, which is Thursday, then it'll be a rerun. Go watch, enjoy, give it a thumbs up. Somebody asked where did I get those games? I make them up. I make up the rules. I make up the games, and I try to come up with a different game game every month if I can. Some of the more popular games that I do have a tendency to do more and more of them because people like them. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to post this news ASAP. You're going to get another one tomorrow. Remember, the one that comes out tomorrow is the one that actually came out 4 days ago. So it's going to be a little behind, but it'll be okay. You'll understand. So I'll see you guys. Happy April Fool's Day. Later. See you on the other side.